At this high school in Northern Ireland, teachers and pupils are struggling to adjust to the new COVID restrictions. At Strangford Integrated College, the drama department are feeling the hit of the virus more than most. New restrictions mean that everyone in school must wear face masks, there's limited movement between classrooms, and the students aren't allowed breaks. They have to remain in the classroom. I spoke to Tanya Turnbull, a drama teacher, who explained the difficulties that the new restrictions were presenting in such a practical subject.
We always need to be wearing our face masks in school and making sure that the students are facing forward, so it makes group work impossible. In fact, we're not allowed to do any practical work under any circumstances. So the students have to learn their pieces of work at home, and then I go over it with them at break time, lunchtime, or after school. We're all really missing the practical work and the creativity and the sharing ideas, which is fundamental to the subject. Now it just feels like we're in an English class because everything's written.
Just last week, Tanya had to isolate because both of her kids were exposed to a positive case of coronavirus at their primary school. Even though she was self-isolating, she still had to work from home. This included setting work for her pupils and marking their responses using Google's online service Classroom. She noted that some of the pupils weren't sending their work until 2 in the morning, which made it harder and more time-consuming for her.
The hybrid of online learning and in-class teaching can be really overwhelming. There's just so much going on. On the one hand, I'm really worried about my own health, and then I'm also worried about the students, particularly when class bubbles or year groups are being sent home to isolate, and they've been maybe in contact with me, and even if they say it's minimal contact, the risk is still there. I've also had to rewrite my entire curriculum, which is so time consuming, so that all the practical tasks are taken out and it's just written work now to fit in with government guidelines.
The new teaching model is making the education gap even harder for kids. Those that are more engaged with subjects are excelling in front of everybody else with their written work, while those who are less interested in the subject are now completely disengaged. The lack of practical involvement in drama is making it harder for people to be interested in the subject. Tanya hopes that with the introduction of the virus vaccine, it will allow her and the students to get back to work.